Homage to the lineage root gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Zongkong. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Dr. Darji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of Homa today, Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva. Sumo, Tanchen Katso, Tupten Siddhi, Tupten Kama. All Dhamma masters, Dhamma lecturers, Dhamma teachers, Dhamma instructors, Dhamma tutors, temple and center directors, and all disciples present here and over the internet. Good afternoon. How do you do?
Niyo, 大家好。xin chào các bạn. Sawadika. Aiteru. Sarange. Hola amigo. Te quiero mucho. Sugoi. Ichiban. Kimochi ii. Junmi. Yapi. Purin purin. Konnichiwa. 现在通知大家，下个礼拜天是4月7号，下午3点 PM。
I would like to announce for next Sunday,
是慧基金刚附魔法会。
April 7th at 3 p.m. There would be Uchusma Homa fire offering ceremony.
那慧基金刚呢，也是释迦牟尼佛
So it's okay. So Uchusma was emanated from Sakyamuni Buddha's heart.
他能够降服这个所有的鬼神。
So he could subdue all the ghosts, gods, and spirits. So he could go to the most filthy places. So he's fearless toward everything. That's why he's called Uchusama, which is the trails of filths, Heruka. And his mudra is one of the more difficult ones to form. This is Uchusama.
一般的按照经典所写。
According to the sutra,
用很污秽的东西，
you use the filthiest thing.
它都可以破解。
Uchusama can break down the filthiest thing. It doesn't matter how dirty it is, and he could go there.
慧基金刚跟别的
So that's why
菩萨不一样。
Uchusama is different from other general Buddhas and Bodhisattvas.
但是
They don't usually handle very dirty things, but Uchusama is different.
今天我们做这个地藏菩萨。
And today we perform Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva.
那么，因为这个好像是清明节吧？
Because it is the Qingming festival,
4月5号。
which is the ancestors' or tomb sweeping festival. That's supposed to fall on April 5th. Is that right?
4月4号是儿童节。
April 4th is Children's Day.
大概就是儿童节跟清明节是在一起的。
So Children's Day and the Ancestors' Day are together.
只有过这个清明节。
So in the future, all that Grandmaster celebrates is this Ancestors' Day.
所以今天呢，做地藏王菩萨。
So today we perform Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva ceremony to deliver all the spirits. So those who registered for primary supplicants or merit holders, if their ancestors are on the registrations, today they all will be universally guided to the Pure Lands. And just now I also saw the 1,000 Dharma vessels and Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva opened the gates, and there were many spirits who left through the gates and got on board the Dharma vessels. So Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva has the greatest vow. He's also in the hells, just like what Vimalakirti said, that they are his Pure Lands also in hells. It's not in the Buddhist Sutras about the three-way Pure Land or jade green Pure Land. One of Siddhigarbha's Pure Land is called the three-way. Three-way Pure Land. So we can say he's the only one who has Pure Lands in the hells. And his vow is, he vows not to become a Buddha until hell is empty. So it means that until he would be last to attain Buddhahood, and only after everyone else have attained Buddhahood. So in the deliverance of sentient beings, there are several ways. One is the method of the king. So they become a Buddha first and then delivering sentient beings. The second is the way by being on the same boat. So everyone is on the same boat. So the Dharma speaker and Dharma listeners are on the same boat. So that's the method of the same boat. And then the third one is the method of the shepherd. So all the sentient beings is in front of the shepherd. Only after all the sheep have gone home, the shepherd would be last to arrive. So Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva is using the way of the shepherd. He would become a Buddha until all sentient beings become a Buddha. So that's the vow of the greatest compassion. So that's why we refer to Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva with the greatest vow. In the past, I was also very silly, very dumb, because I said the same thing. I will deliver sentient beings in each and every lifetime until hells are empty. That's a very discouraging vow. Sakyamuni Buddha, prior to giving Dharma teachings, would always say that human life is suffering. So the most important viewpoints is suffering, emptiness, and impermanence. The Four Noble Truths, the first one is also suffering. Only a fool would generate such a vow. I was also a fool. When I saw Siddhikarpa Bodhisattva generated such a vow, I followed too. And then later on, I discovered, oh my gosh, it's not so easy. It's really quite hard. So thinking about it, if I don't go to hell, who would? So they are the so-called 6 Siddhikarpas, who are according to the 6 realms: the human, asura, hell, animals, hungry ghosts, and the heavens. So in the 6 realms, in each of the 6 realms, there are Siddhikarpa Bodhisattvas. So his vows is not just related to health, but also in the heavenly realm, human, asura, hell, animal, and the hungry ghosts. And they are referred to as the 6 Siddhikarpas. Of course, he's truly great. And he has 6 envoys, and one of them is the envoys with great powers. The treasure holding envoy, great compassionate goddess, precious treasure goddess, summoning heaven envoy, and the Yama envoy. These are the 6 attendants to Siddhikarpa Bodhisattva, and one of them, which is the great strength envoy, is the Mahabala, the protector with great power. Before I transmitted the Mahabala Dharma, he was on my thumb. There is a Mahabala shape on my right hand. So Siddhikarpa Bodhisattva commanded the great strength envoy, or great strength protector, to protect Padma Kumara in the Saha world. So he's my protector, and now he's the protector of everyone in True Buddha School, and protector of True Buddha School too. The Siddhikarpa Fundamental Vow Sutra is when Sakyamuni Buddha went to the heaven to deliver his mother, was recorded as this sutra, the Siddhikarpa Fundamental Vow Sutra. So Siddhikarpa Bodhisattva is truly great. I am not as great as he is. Siddhikarpa Bodhisattva, among the sentient beings of the 6 rebirth realms, he is the greatest Bodhisattva. He's like opened butterfly, and I'm just like the caterpillar. Big difference. He's truly great. Now Now in this Q&A,
也是马来西亚
also from Malaysia,
和
lotus
3点水，上面一个日，底下一个天。号，莲花楚号，在
lotus 楚号
刹经中
in the
释迦牟尼佛
Sanghata Sutra, Sakyamuni Buddha mentioned that those who hear the Sanghata Dharma gate can eliminate the transgressions of the 5 heinous sins, and these are grave sins, and they are killing one's father, killing one's mother, killing an arhat, breaking apart the harmonious Sangha, and injuring a Buddha's body, causing it to bleed. So can eliminate the retributions of the 5 heinous transgressions and become non-regressing in the Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. So that's about the 8 ground bodhisattvas. So what is the content of this Dharma gate? And how does it help people to eliminate the retributions of the 5 heinous sins and achieve non-regressing state? So anyone who has heard of the Sanghata Dharma gate would be able to eliminate the transgressions of the 5 heinous sins and become non-regressing in the Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. And what is the content, the specific content of the Dharma, and how does it help people eliminate their retributions of the 5 heinous sins and achieve non-regressing state? Anybody has read this sutra? Anybody has ever read this sutra? Sanghata Sutra. So you ask and you answer yourself. Only you have read the sutra. So now that you've heard it, you can eradicate it, and you can also attain the Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. So anyone who has heard of the sutra and you have seen it and read it, then you can achieve it. That's the answer. So you ask the question and you have answered it yourself. Is that right? So you've read the sutra, right? So everything is on the internet. There's nothing, it's nothing hidden anymore. You just check it on the internet and then you can read it. So it can eliminate the transgression of the 5 heinous sins and to let you be non-regressing in your spiritual commitment. So now we've heard it, but we haven't read it. How long is the sutra? 4 chapters. That's not bad. Not many. Why don't you read it yourself? Is it on the cell phones? Yeah. The text, the sutra text, yes. then read it right away.
释迦牟尼佛讲到，
Because Sakyamuni Buddha said that by hearing the Sangata Sutra, then you can eliminate the transgressions of the 5 heinous sins and attain the non-regressing state. Then why don't you read it right away? Then you'll have attainment and you don't need my answer.
先讲个笑话吧，因为《维摩诘经》里面所讲的。
Let me tell jokes because what the Vimalakirti Sutra states and what Vimalakirti talks about. So it turned out all the famous idioms in Buddhism comes from Vimalakirti Sutra, like Puti, afflictions, Puti, and then greed, anger, and delusion, Buddha Dharma, that Buddha and Mara are the same, birth and death are the same, worldly and beyond worldly are the same. So you don't have to say that you have to go to the Pure Lands or Buddha verses. The Saha world is also a Buddha verse. Now you're in the Buddha verse. So worldly or beyond worldly are the same. Afflictions are Poti or enlightenment. Mara is Buddha, Buddha is Mara. They're all the same. Because it's non-dual Dharma gate. There's no second anything. It's all absolute. So you're afflicted, but affliction is enlightenment. You're afraid of death, but actually death is the same as birth. We often say, now you're practicing the worldly Dharma. Oh, and the other one says practicing the beyond worldly or transcendent Dharma. But actually they're the same. So it's talking about those. I don't believe it. I feel lots of suffering. And in the heavenly realms, then you have lots of enjoyment. In the heavenly realm of desire, form and formless, especially the realm of desire, lots of enjoyment there. And in the realm of form too. And in the realm of formlessness, non-existence, 4 kinds. The heaven of non-thought and no non-thoughts. There are 4 kinds. So that's not enjoyment, that you have entered into almost complete extinction, but with there's still some slight something. But there are lots of enjoyment in the realm of desire and realm of form. But the human world is lots of suffering. How could they be the same? Maudyagalana is first and foremost in supernatural power, and he's gone to heavens. At that time, there was a doctor who specifically treat Sangha members. What's his name? Tipo. And Maudyagalana saw Jipo and wanted to speak to him. But Maudyagalana had reached the realm of desire by his supernatural power. and wanted to talk to Chipo. And Chipo turned his head and told Vimalakirti, I have no time to talk to you. Very busy. What is he busy about? I am busy enjoying myself. Chipo in the heavenly realm of desire was very happy. He did not even have time to talk to my dear Kalana. He's enjoying his life, very happy. So it showed that the heavenly realm of desire is a place of pleasure and enjoyment. It's endless. But human realm, the suffering of illness, of being old. Now I am 80. Now I know about suffering. That's why in the future all I celebrate is the Ancestors' Day. And we've passed the Children's Day and the Youth's Day. There's no Middle Age Day. Now, all that we have left is the Ancestors' Day to celebrate. Tomorrow is April's Fool. You're talking the joke of the April's Fool's Day. Of course, my Dharma bodies are great. They can travel everywhere, can pass through the walls, and can go to any realms. But this physical body is suffering, don't you know? In old age, the internal organs have deteriorated. You don't know that I have become weak. In old age, very weak. I had a very good digestion in the past. And Simu often said, you have like iron stomach, that whatever that gets in, they all digested. Now the iron stomach has become plastic stomach. What is that? It would ferment and rot in there. Let me share a joke. The teacher of human philosophy was talking for about 2 hours in class, and his topic was the relationship between man and money. And just before the end of the class, he asked Xiaoming, had you had money, what can you change about your life? If you have money, what can you change about your life? And Xiaoming said, if I had money, I wouldn't have to sit here and listen to your nonsense. The philosophy teacher was kicked out. Xiaoming's wife called Xiaoming and said, where are you now? And Xiaoming said, I'm in your heart. And the wife was very angry. You should tell me clearly. Oh, this is Chinese puns. This is a Chinese word. In your heart, it sounded like a name of a girl. So his wife must be a very jealous person.
一个人的名字，女生的名字，小明就答不出来啊？对呀、在他的理心里，他变成李心明这跟这个老婆相处在一起也是很痛苦。
That would be suffering to have a wife like that.
今天是愚人节，明天呢
？Tomorrow is April Fool's Day.
明天呢，小明就想出一个点子。
Tomorrow, Xiaoming would have an idea.
自己最喜爱的女生求婚是最好的。
It's best if you propose to the girl that you love most on April Fool's Day. Why?
他说，如果
Xiaoming said, if the girl agrees, that's very happy. If she rejects, then Xiaoming said, oh, it's April's Fool.
我跟你求婚，我是骗你的。
I was just lying to you. So he saved his own face when he's being rejected.
像每一个女生都求婚了，大概总有一个会嫁给他吧。
You propose to all the girls, then one of them would marry you.
刚才有人骂我是脑残。
That someone called me an idiot.
骂我是泥孩猪头皮。猪头皮是什么？猪头皮。
It's like your pig's head, a moron.
就脑残嘛。
So a moron, an idiot. And Dad said, who dared to call my son a moron? His son must be a real idiot. Who? Just call that. That's Grandpa.
是他爸爸的爸爸。
So the dad of his dad.
他爸爸的爸爸，阿公讲他的孙子是脑残，他爸爸讲是脑残，那个他的儿子才是智障。
So that.
讲到这里啊，我昨天讲，看外面看起来
Now to this.
事情都是犯戒。
As I said yesterday, externally it seemed like he's breaking the precepts, but in reality that he's pure, has not transgressed the precepts, feeling great fear even for minor transgression. So he's afraid not to violate even the minor precepts. So I translated it this way. Like when you walk and then, oh no, I step on an ant. That's killing. That's a major transgression. When I was little, not just step on one ant, But when there are a row of ants walking on the wall, and then I roll a piece of paper, and then I burned it, and then burn all the ants. That's a very heavy transgressions of the precept not to kill. When we built a rainbow temple, we also dig on a nest of ants. And Lien Yin asked me, what should we do about it? And you take a plastic bag and then put them inside the plastic bag and then let them go at the place, because I understood Buddha Dharma by then. So we knew to let them, to release them. Don't think that stepping on an ant is just a minor transgression, but because that's killing. And of the 5 basic precepts, not to kill is the most severe one. Second is not to steal. The third is not to commit sexual misconduct. Fourth is not to lie. And the 5th one is not to drink alcohol. So drinking alcohol is lighter. I drank and my face was red when I got on the Dharma seat. I had 2 cups. Now I changed it to drink 1 cup from today on. So just a cup of sake, then I will not have red or flushed face. But it's not that good to drink alcohol. It's better not to drink it. Because although this is minor, the smallest or the lightest precept of the 5 basic precepts is to drink alcohol. In order to provide conveniences for sentient beings, they ask, like, can I drink if I take refuge? And this is what I said, that it's okay to drink as long as you don't get drunk. But it is still best not to drink, although it is a light transgression. It's still better not to drink. The cultivating bodhisattva is still fearing even toward these minor transgressions. They display rage and wrathfulness. But actually always kind and patient, very kind and compassionate. So their rage and wrathfulness comes from compassion. So that's why the anger due to compassion is good. All of us have seen the journey to the West. The monk from the Tang Dynasty was the monk who abide by the precepts very pure, and the horse has created many transgressions because the horse symbolizes like the monkey mind and monkey mind and horse heart, that they are not stable. But the monk has a stability, and the monkey king represents anger and aggression. He always kills all the demons and monsters. When the demon can appear, transform and appear to be a beautiful lady, and the Monkey King could see through when that's a monster. And then the monk continued to chant the Buddha's name to try to deliver. The Monkey King said they should be killed because they are monsters. But you're violating the precept not to kill. And then he would chant the mantra so that the Monkey King would have headache. So the Monkey King symbolizes rage and anger. Every time he sees monsters and demons, would kill them and use his pole. But the monk abides by the precepts, never to kill. And the one who symbolizes ignorance or foolishness is the monk Sa U Jing. Very dumb, just following around. No good, no bad. That's to symbolize ignorance. And the precept pig symbolizes greed. Greedy for looks and sensual pleasures, and greedy for food. So of the 5 desires, wealth, sensual pleasures, sleep, food, and fame. So the precept pig is greed, Monkey King is anger, the monk Sa U Jing is ignorance. But at last, the 4 of them, including the monks, Xuanzang, the Tang monk, all attain Buddhahood after they got the sutras from the West. The Monkey King is called the victorious warrior Buddha. That's his Buddha's name. And the precept pig is the Buddha to clean the altar offering table. And Sa U Jing is the Buddha of the heavenly river, because he was a general from the heavenly river. And the Tang monk, we should give him a name. The Buddha who abide by the pure precepts Buddha for the Tang Xuanzang monk. So all 4 became a Buddhas. So greed, anger, and delusion can allow one to become Buddhas too. So although they display rage, but they are the most compassionate and kind. They appear to be lazy, yet diligently cultivating merits. On the surface, you're very lazy, but internally, they are cultivating merits all the time, and you can't tell. They look very lazy. They're sleeping all the time. But you don't know that they're practicing sleep meditation. That sleeping is the same as meditation for them. Laziness. They seem to be sleeping all the time. Like Sakyamuni Buddha, when Sakyamuni Buddha was giving Dhamma teachings, there was a disciple who have attained celestial eye. How come? Sakyamuni Buddha did not know that he was practicing sleep meditation, and if you continue to sleep like this, in the future you would be reincarnated as a clam. Always closed. Only from time to time it's just opening a small crack to eat, and then you're close again. Reincarnated as a clam. So, and he became very diligent and not to sleep, and then he lost his eyesight, and then later on he attained celestial eye. That's why he's called the first in the celestial eye. They appear to be lazy, yet diligently cultivating merits. They seem to be sleeping all day long, but actually they are cultivating spiritually. So, Grandmaster, when teaching at the Seattle temple, that was late in the evening. So that's why when I was seated on the Dharma throne, sometimes I would practice sleep meditation. But yesterday I closed my eyes, but I did not fall asleep. I did not nod or shake or lean over, right? I did not lean over. I was in real meditation. I had entered the meditation of emptiness. Their mind appears disorderly, but yet constantly mindful of meditative stability. They seem to be distracted, but actually they're in constant meditation. So their meditation power is very deep. Like our Master Lian Ci, she often does this, that she's closing her eyes and sleeping, but actually she's in meditation. That's also a merit. That's also a kind of meditation. So, on the surface, you look like you're sleeping, but actually you're listening to the Dharma teaching. So, don't think that they're lazy. Actually, they're very diligent. Or they appear to be an ignorant fool, yet understanding both worldly and transcendent wisdom. On the surface, they look like a fool, but they understand both worldly and beyond worldly wisdom. They know them all. That's why I said last night about Zhen Hong. She's actually a very incredible person, extremely smart, extremely wise. Look at her article. She never changed any words, and very clear and orderly. And she doesn't say much. Or if she says something, she seems pretty dumb, but actually she's extremely clever. She's an accountant, very good with numbers, and she can endure any hardships in whatever she does. She's just great in her family. She's the one who abides by the right path. The energy on her body is very, very pure, very immaculate. Nobody, up till now, nobody has such a pure energy. A completely pure energy. Actually, she's the most eloquent, but she just doesn't speak much. And she writes very well. And she's very knowledgeable and the wisest. But on the surface, she looks foolish. But actually, understanding both worldly and transcendent wisdom. And she can place her home nice and clean and orderly. And the person is also very clean and pure without any evil or malicious thoughts. It's very, very rarely to find such a person now. There's only one, Zhen Hong. It's a completely pure person. So that's why the energy on her body is different. You know, because we know how to observe the qi. You know, when I observe her qi, she's as pure as a white lotus. It's very different. Not like Grandmaster. Grandmaster is very turbid. I want to purify myself, but I cannot. But really, the qi on Zheng Hong is incredible. The best kind of qi. And the wisest and most clear about the principles in the world or beyond the world. And toward her parents and her brothers, very respectful and filial. There are no impurities on her. Very rare to see that. She has no bad or negative thoughts in her mind. And she doesn't speak much. But as soon as she starts to speak, it would be endless. So they appear to be ignorant, but they know both worldly and beyond worldly wisdom. They display flattery and deceit, yet skillfully applying expedient means in accordance with the teachings of the sutras. They look conceited, or they would say words that are desirable, but actually they are skillfully applying expedient means in accordance with the sutras. So it's just a skillful mean to say those flattery or deceiving words or pleasing words. But actually they are delivering sentient beings. They display arrogance, yet serving all beings as if a bridge. They look very arrogant, but they can forsake themselves. That people can walk over their body, so they become a bridge, and people can walk on that bridge because they understand the Buddha's path. They look very arrogant, but actually they can give up their own body and life for the sake of sentient beings. They appear afflicted, yet the mind remains pure. So on the surface, it seems like they have afflictions, but actually internally, they are pure.
这里面有讲到，这个在这一段里面呢，烦恼就是。
So in here, it mentioned that affliction is puti or enlightenment. How can affliction be enlightenment?
但是维摩诘讲，一如。
But Vimalakirti says that it's the same. Affliction is enlightenment. Buddha is Mara. They are the same. And birth is death, death is birth. They are the same. Worldly is beyond worldly is also worldly. They are the same. These are spoken by Vimalakirti. The non-path is the Buddha path. If you walk on a deviant path, but that's also the Buddha path. Vimalakirti says. So we often hear this, that affliction is puti, Buddha and Mara the same. They all came from this sutra. Greed, anger, and delusion are all Buddha Dharma. In Tantric Buddhism, as I said last night, so even when you practice due to greed, you can attain Buddhahood. So if you practice through wrathfulness, you can attain Buddhahood, and that's Herukas. Or if you practice through ignorance, that's Bodhisattvas. So greed, anger, and delusion are also Buddha Dharma. Desires also Buddha Dharma. Because greed, anger, and delusion are also kinds of desire. So desire is also Buddha Dharma. This is spoken by Vimalakirti. So it's not easy to explain the sutra, because you need to understand Tantric Buddhism. Greed, that's a consort practice. I read a book with the title Greed, and then they have a painting of a man and a woman on a bed. And anger, two people are in a fight with the swords, trying to kill each other. And ignorance, just one person sleeping on the bed. That symbolizes ignorance. So greed, whether whatever two people are doing on the bed, or one person doing on the bed, or two people are fighting each other, trying to kill each other, they are all Buddha Dharma. So it shows in Tantric Buddhism. So greed can, greed can also allow you to attain Buddhahood. So you transform the superficial greed into Buddha Dharma, and then you gain spiritual union with the yidams, and then the circulation of the both chis to open the 5 chakras. That's the tantric practices. And for anger, the anger that comes from compassion toward the people who violate precepts, that's Vajra Heruka, or Vajra protector. And ignorance, they continually doing merits that are not beneficial to them. Isn't that a fool? So they continually doing merits, and they don't ask for anything in return, and they don't ask for anything, and they are very useless, but they still do it.
这个就是
Isn't that a fool?
表面上看起来这个人很笨呢。
That person is so dumb that they do so much and never rest and no break.
他领的又很少。
And they don't get much at all.
我说一场，我讲我。
Okay, let's just say myself.
从礼拜一到礼拜天。
From Monday to Sunday, another Monday to Sunday, 365 days a year. I have no day off.
一直在做事情。
Continually do work. No day off.
最近的这 Vimalakirti Square， C 位，我的妈呀，我都没有去过，10几年没有去过。
I haven't been to any Bellevue Square, Safeway, Fredmeyer. That's so close by for over 10 years. I don't even fill the gas anymore. Now it's Lian Qi who helps me fill in the gas for the cars.
全部在做佛法。
So I dedicate everything to Buddha Dharma.
以前西雷，我讲
In the past, at the Seattle Temple, for a Dharma teaching, 莲智
讲一坛法多少钱？
at that time
啊，200块，100块。 哦，讲一坛法200块。
offered me $200 for a Dharma teaching.
因为我讲200块。
And after I talked about it, you changed, right?
稍微多一点，稍微。
A little bit more.
我不是为了钱说法。
So I don't give Dharma teaching for money. Please don't mistake it.
我将来啊，我已经讲了，把我现在住的。
And I've said it in the future, I will donate my Southern Mountain Retreat and the Buddha Tent Quarters. But Sumu told me not to talk about it. But I've talked about it. Look at my Southern Mountain Retreat. I don't need to say how much. Actually, let me tell you, the Southern Mountain Retreat in that community, did you check? Shuanglian. That's the Bridal Trails area. You've told me that you checked. That's the biggest residence there. Did you say that? She checked the internet and she could see how much that would be worth. It's lots of zeros to $200. And Buddha Tent Quarters is around 1 million. And it was bought at 90,000. Over 2 million? Buddha Tent Quarters? You know, my Southern Mountain Retreat is about 2 acres land. It's the biggest house in the Bridal Trails. Just think about it, how much that would be. And I donated it. That's more than all my Dharma teachings in my whole lifetime.
胜过我这一生的说法，胜过我这一生的收入。
So more than all I earn in my lifetime.
将来呢，取之于民，用之于民。
So in the future, it's from the people and back to the
另
people.
外一个南山雷藏寺，像彩虹山庄，
There would be like a Southern Mountain Lizang temple, like this rainbow
我
temple,
画的图，
rainbow villa.
那建的是莲寺。
I bought the
莲
land,
寺上是
I designed it, I drew the blueprints, and Master Lien Si hired the constructors to help me build it.
一共有
But we paid for everything,
41个，包括山上。
and there are over 40 acres here for this piece of land, including
盖这
up the
个
hill.
盖护摩宝殿，
And then we built the residence, the Homa Hall,
闭关小屋，
the retreat centers, the bathrooms.
这个
We built all of those.
双联境界。
And then we added the columbarium later on.
全部都是师母跟我
They were all
所有的权利跟那个名字已经不是我，
Simus and grandmasters.
也不是我，
But now
也不是
they are not under us anymore, and not the grandmasters, a family either. Now it's become a rainbow
将来
temple.
南山雅舍也是
So the
南山
South Mountain Retreat will also become South Mountain Lizang Temple.
还有捐出来当成博
And
物馆的
will
纪念，就是
be a museum
在那边
memorial
很多的用品在那边。
items that Grandmaster and Simu have used. So it's the same as a
一
museum,
根针
and they have all donated
取
because we will not be able to carry with us, not even a small needle.
不减，
So
这样
they came from the people and returned to the people.
诸
It's not increasing and not
清净，
decreasing.
看起来
So they seem to be afflicted, but the mind remains pure. Grandmaster seems afflicted, and Simu is afflicted by her illness, but actually the heart mind is pure and safe. That's all for today.